What's up, nerd and nerdettes? Now that you're back, let's jump into the part you guys have been waiting for with part 2 of Telepathy. Just a quick reminder, remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Allows your mind to soar, and it makes me feel pretty dang on special. Now this setup's going to be a little different than the other powers I've done, mainly the manipulation powers. The problem with finding examples for this power is that you need to show and tell, as the telling helps give validation to the showing, as a lot of examples in popular culture have a problem showing this power without telling you. They just don't do a good job of showing you without having to explain what they're showing. So I tried to find examples that did, well, the showing aspect better than the telling, because I don't want to use audio because of copyright and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. So let's just see. I'll just see what I can do here. Bear with me. Now, with the power of telepathy grants the natural ability to speak aloud using only the mind without having to open your mouth or strain your lungs or vocal cords in any way, shape, or form via telepathic speaking. If you want to have the ability to still communicate but want to choose your targets more carefully, then use this ability to open up secret conversations and relay covert information between a chosen target and yourself via telepathic communication. And in the inverse, if you want to cut in on private conversations of a mental nature, like the mind hacker that you are, then with telepathic hijacking, no one around you will be able to hide any mental-based discussions. You know what? Let's just go ahead and slap mind reading and thought detection on that, because that's pretty much what you're doing, okay? From there, if you want to share information with others who may not possess mental powers, then make the thoughts and ideas of oneself or others visible to anyone via a holographic or some type of energy or some kind of picture creation, basically projecting it in the sky via thought projection. If you want to use this to process or to project language information onto others so they can skip the year or two it would take to actually learn said language, then with telepathic language instruction, you can pretty much do as such. Okay. Now take that application a step further, and instead of planting language-based skills, you can implant memories, thoughts, and entirely new emotions onto others with telepathic implantation. That's a very scary ability. With the ability of sensory scrying, you can straight up plant your consciousness into another being's and perceive the environment through the senses of others. With that being said, with all the mental power that you're putting off, if you surround yourself in it or infuse pure thinking force into the energy that gives you life, then you can project a telepathic field that can in turn increase the power of your existing telepathic powers with telepathic aura. And since you are surrounded by a field of mind-reading energy and or force, you would then be able to use yourself like a radio tower connecting to the various minds around you to simultaneously send one message to a group of people with telepathic broadcasting. Meanwhile, the ability of telepathic relay allows you the ability to act like a mental relay station for a group of minds. This in turn allows said minds that are connected to your ability to speak to one another through the user. So if you take all the previously mentioned applications and infuse them into whatever combative capabilities you possess, then you can lay the worst mental beatdown on someone that they've ever experienced, wearing them out mentally and then wearing them out physically with telepathic combat. And following from there, if you trap a target in a mental cage of pain or some sort via, telepathy, then you can cause such psychological stress that it'll punish victims mentally and spiritually, but mostly mentally, via psychic torture. Or if you see yourself as a pacifist or a coward, hey, I'm not judging, we all know our limits, then hop into the mind of whoever you target and make it to where they cannot perceive you under their own power, because you're making their brain think that you don't exist with telepathic invisibility. Or if you see yourself as someone who would rather help than harm, then because of your connection to the mind and body, if you use your power to repair how the mind views your body, then your body will normally follow suit and repair itself or destroy itself at a faster rate, as stresses or benefits that the mind undergoes usually reflects in the body by using telepathic surgery. You're basically fooling the mind into believing that the body is well, which will then make the body actually well. Placebo effect, if you will. If you want to gain information that isn't available to acquire by normal means alone, then looks like you'll be tapping into extrasensory perception. Now, there are different ways that this can be shown. If you consider yourself a pacifist and relish the possibility of avoiding a conflict altogether via your big brain powers, then tap into the ethereal wavelengths that all thoughts travel on, aka electricity, and gain the ability to know an opponent's moves and attacks by reading their brain with telepathic prediction. Or they can defy all logic and gain information in a manner very similar to divination, allowing them to acquire information using sight or visual clues completely outside the normal range of detection with clairvoyance. And lastly for this part, if you have a strong enough sense of self and the mental power to do as such, then imagine your physical form taking on a non-corporeal version and project the consciousness of oneself or others from that body or their bodies, which can grant you the ability of astral projection. And that pretty much wraps up the main ways that the power of telepathy can be used. So no matter how the telepathic effect looks or what form it comes in within a particular medium, it will always use those applications. Now we get into the next part, the different forms of telepathy. This will be fun. If one wanted to be the king of sensitives or the king of wallflowers, then the ability to pick up on, read, and interpret the emotions of others through your vast mental powers is very possible because you possess empathy on steroids. Continuing from that, if you want to communicate through the exclusive medium of emotions without exchanging words or touchy-feely sensations, because you don't like being touched, then you can do so with telepathy. That's a weird word. Telepathy. And from there, since you can tap into and communicate through emotions due to your big brain powers, like stated before, you might as well stretch this into the ability to make yourself or others feel pleased, happy, pained, or any other sentiment via emotion manipulation. If you're someone who doesn't want to stop at controlling what your target feels and actually want to dive into that pinkish gray sack to see what it contains, then with brain manipulation or brainwave manipulation, anything that has to do with controlling anything that comes into or out of a brain on an organism is pretty much fair game. This includes that very same element that powers the brain and in fact sends signals throughout the body. So if you possess this element, aka electricity, you would be able to manipulate and or read the mind through these signals in ways that'll make surgeons jealous because you're using electrical telepathy, which if you ask me is the most realistic version of this power. So, moving on from there, the ability to create and control the senses of an individual to make them experience things that aren't, necessarily real would classify you as having illusion generation and illusion manipulation, which is another form of telepathy, we just don't consider it that. If the user possesses thought manipulation, they can just straight up obviously control the thoughts of others, allowing them to make others think what they want, control various thinking processes, and cause the loss of their sequential thought in order to induce confusion or completely shut off the thinking process altogether. So for that one, before I forget, we can go ahead and add mind control to that as well. I'd feel bad if I forgot that. Yeah. If you want to use your command over thoughts to find out more information that's already transpired in the past, then use this ability to read the target's memories and or control what they have remembered with memory reading and memory manipulation. This variation of telepathy is especially dangerous because memories are what turn someone into what they are. So if you just happen to alter Mr. Prodigy's memories of being a prodigy, then you just turned a national threat into something that needs to be put back into elementary school. Just some food for thought. If you want to go deeper than memories and want to control the mannerisms and unknown tics that make a person act the way they do, then with subconscious manipulation, you can manipulate the hidden aspects of the mind. This means things like rearranging memories so that they act like one's true desires or fears, awakening secrets that were hidden deep within the mind, because we have a tendency to repress certain things. And then on top of that, you can reveal important or potential information that was hidden deep within the subconscious, which can then change the body as a result, because you remember, like I said before, the mind and the body are very interconnected. But anyway, this can give rise to emotions or thoughts hidden deep inside the mind. And lastly, with telepathy if one chose to, mind you. Get in mind. So stupid. Anyway, they could delve deeper than the subconscious. Yeah, but what's deeper than the subconscious? Well, obviously dreams. Why? Because dreams themselves are often considered the inspiration for most, if not all, forms of actions that are performed in the awake world. I mean, all beings need to sleep in order to recover energy. And in more complex creatures, during this mandatory period of time, the brain enters something called REM sleep, where most dreams tend to happen. So, even if you don't remember what you dreamed, you still dreamed. So, if one were to have the power to control these, they would be able to influence the essence of what makes a living being get up and struggle towards survival on the daily, and then alter that for whatever purpose they want with dream manipulation. And there you have it, telepathy in a nutshell. That's somehow inside your mind, but it's not in your mind because you're using that to read minds. But anyway, an extremely popular ability, but it's also extremely scary. That can be used for any and everything you can imagine involving living creatures. You could even stretch this to things like plants, bacteria, or dust mites, but the main thing is that it requires a living organism that has what we would consider a mind, or a mind that you can tap into. Although you could blend this into limited control over electricity because brain signals tend to run on neuroelectricity, so that's that for that. So that option is available for you if you want to increase the attack power of this ability and give you a little bit more versatility, which could also range into controlling electronics. But stereotypically, this ability will not work on mindless beings such as corpses, animated objects, robots, golems, or anything of the like. This power really can't work on users of psychokinesis as well because they also possess a psychic shield or form a psychic immunity or indomitable will because their whole theme are mind-based powers, and this is a mind-based power. You might also be limited to controlling the mind of certain species, which would really suck. And certain minds might be too complex or otherworldly to risk entering into lest you go insane. And you might not even be able to turn this ability off, so you'll more than likely always hear thoughts constantly, which could drive you insane if you're in a crowd or lower your self-esteem, which can then affect your powers because you're hearing people's true thoughts about you. That'll mess up anybody. But besides that, the real threat to a user of this power, or what could really hold a user of this power back from reaching their full potential, are the user's natural skills, talents, and determination. That'll pretty much determine how far one goes with an ability like this. But just bring a gauze for your nose just in case, nosebleeds. And now, with all that out of the way, it's time to place this ability on the scale. Telepathy is like the perfect power in regards to listening to, controlling, or dominating other living beings. Remember that living part. And so, with no more filler, on a scale of 1 to 10, the Shey scaling system gives this power a 7.5 because while it is powerful and is pretty cool to control people, it is very limited in applications because you need a living organism. So, yeah.